Go. Alright, so what I'm doing now is fiberglass is dried, it's hard, you can take a look at it. I've already sanded part of it down, there are some crusties, but you can see it's high here. Yeah, you can see right there. Alright, what I'm using is 40 grit sandpaper. This stuff is really rough, it's all to take down the high stuff. So I just kind of work it down with a soft sanding block here. When I feel my finger over it, I still have, there's still quite a bit of fiberglass here. This is still pretty high. All I'm doing is, before I put the body putty on, I just want to get the high, really the rough parts up. Okay. The 40 grit's going to leave some good markings for the body putty. Something that's pretty important to do is when you kind of clean it out. I'm going to grab a rag here. This is degreaser, and just kind of clean off the area. Make sure there's no... This is another one I'm working on. There's a delamination here. You can see I already put one layer of body putty in there. What did I do? This is epoxy where this delaminated here, so this is epoxy down, and I'm putting some body putty. I'm going to put another layer of body putty. So... Okay, if you recall, this was the little fiberglass mixing container that I used the other day, something you get from Home Depot. The nice thing about it, it is reusable because the fiberglass resin will actually release from it. Pretty clean. And if you kind of take a look at it, this shows you where it's really thin. I mean, it's almost plenty of flex for a snowboard. But then even where it's thick, you can kind of see. Let me take it from the side here so you can see. Let me rip that off. Throw that away. You can still see that this is, this has got to be an 3/16 of an inch. You can see how much flex you have in this fiberglass resin. There's not near that much here. So, in terms of this, the flexibility, I have no problem with it. Okay, what I'm using here is an auto body putty. It's a lightweight, short strand reinforced filler, so it means it has some type of fiberglass or Kevlar filling in it. Okay, this is a two-part process. You've got the putty. This is called the hardener. And like I said, if you've never done this before, you really want to play with it because I've screwed up a couple projects already in the learning process. You need to make sure you have enough hardener. Whatever you see online, it's like voodoo. It's hard to really figure it out. This is the squeegee that I'm going to use to apply it, which you'll see in a minute. Here's what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to take it, you want to kind of just remix it up real good. You can see the consistency about this stuff is about, thin peanut butter.
Yogurt?
Huh?
Yogurt, maybe?
Yogurt? Too thick for yogurt. Did you say it's too thick for yogurt?
Greek yogurt, maybe.
Greek yogurt? Okay, fair enough. We're going to put the filler on with, now this is actually too wide, so what I'm going to actually do is cut it. You can actually buy squeegees of different sizes. I don't know where my other size squeegees are, but no big deal. This will be perfect. So, this right here will be my small squeegee that I'll use for small spots. This is my little bit wider squeegee that I'll use for wider spots. Okay, another tool that's kind of handy in the automotive industry is this guy right here. It's a pad of paper on a board that I'll mix my putty on. When I'm done with it, the paper just rips right off. Alright, so here we go. Rule of thumb, always mix up more putty than what you need.
Good thing the putties are bright greenish bluish. Otherwise the camera wouldn't be able to see it. So bright.
Okay, this is the hardener. It's a blue hardener, pretty standard. You want to make sure it's kind of kneaded up like this. Now this is the trick right here, is making sure you have enough hardener to put on this. They say things like 12%, how you measure off 12%, I don't know, but here's the rule of thumb. Is if you think of it in terms of a clock or a circle, I don't know. This is about the proportion right there. I don't know. I mean, like I said, you want to put more hardener than less, it'll work faster, but if you don't put enough hardener on,
It'll take forever.
yeah, it may never harden up, but that's not a good thing. Okay, so mix it up. You see that blue right in there? Looks like I'm putting a lot of hardener on in here, so it's actually going to
Harden quickly.
yeah, I'm looking at maybe 5 minutes of working time tops. Okay, notice I'm using the stirring strip. You really got to get in there. You want to make sure that it is as evenly mixed up as possible. Right there. Alright, and like I said, you don't want to spend too much time dinking around with the stirring process, because right now, as we speak, this stuff's hardening up on me. Here we go. Alright, so come over here. Take a little bit of that. And squeegee it. Just like that. And get it right in there. Same thing. I can actually switch to my wider squeegee here. Excuse me. Come to the side. Oh, I can already feel the stuff stiffening up on me. Oh yeah, stuff's already stiffening up.
Won't take long for this thing to harden.
Yeah. And kind of work it right here.
You're applying it really thickly.
Yeah. She says, my daughter says I'm putting on a little thick. I am putting on thick, but it's easier to sand it off than
To add more.
to have to add more. This part right here, I know I don't really need it, so I'm just going to scrape it right off. That. Let's see something here. Might as well, as long as I can work it, I might as well get rid of it. Okay, this stuff will set up, and it'll probably be sandable probably in an hour or two. So I'll come by and work it, and basically, once this stuff hardens, and I will sand this right down to the board. You'll also be able to see what this stuff looks like when it's hardened as well. You can see how much I have left over, plenty of it. Like I said, it's, you know, I'm not going to say this putty's cheap, but at the same time, you don't want to be mixing it twice. And then here's the beautiful thing about this little contraption. Check this out. You just good as new.
Looks like you could almost take an office pad and clip it to something.
You know, you could take an office pad, but this paper
It's thicker.
is actually a little thicker. Alright, so the next step is my final sanding before I do some priming and painting. Okay, so what we got here, this is the resin. It's probably about a 1/16 of an inch thick. And you can see, you know, that it has some pretty good flex yet to it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that, you know, takes a bit to break it. And like I said, it's going to be much thinner here. So here's what I'm going to do. This is the 40 grit sandpaper
Again?
with the sanding block. Yep, and I'm going to take this right on the blue spot. And you can see this 40, or what is it, 80?
40.
Yeah, 40 grit. This stuff just tears this stuff down. Now, you want to be careful that you don't get into the board here, so I'm staying all in here. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down and just shave this stuff down until I get close to the board. Yep, until I get close to the board. And then I'm going to come back with this 100, and then I'm going to do the whole section in the 100 and get it to blend in so it's even. So no sense in you watching that, but, you know, that's what it is. So I'll just keep working this down. You can see it's very powdery. And just do this until I get close.
Lots of powder.
Okay. Alright, you can turn it off now.